Adding dry beans to a jar and covering with boiling water and then canning is a Rebel canning method, but I see it everywhere online not being labeled as Rebel canning. So let's go over the USDA method for safe canning and can up some black beans so they're ready to go on our shelves. And yes, this is cheaper and more cost effective. I started by soaking 4 pounds of black beans in a stock pot overnight for exactly 12 hours. I drain the water out and then cover again with fresh water and bring to a boil for 30 minutes. My jars were cleaned and sanitized in the dishwasher. Pints are the best sizes for us, so for each pint I filled about 2/3 of the way with beans and then the rest with cooking liquid to 1-inch headspace, and then I added half a teaspoon of salt to each jar and used my silicone spatula to debubble. I used a towel with vinegar to wipe off the rim of the jar, making sure there's no cooking liquid on it. I added my lids and rings to fingertip tight, and then I added my jars double stacked in my pressure canner and sealed it up. Once I had my steady flow of steam, I set my 10-minute timer, and then after 10 minutes I added my 10 pounds of weight and started the clock for 75 minutes. Then I shut off my burner completely, let it get down to 0 pressure, took off the weight, and then opened it up. I pulled out all of my jars and listened to them seal. After 12 hours, I'll check any seal buttons. If a jar doesn't seal, it'll go into the fridge. And then after another 12 hours, I begin my final seal checks, removing the rings, tapping on the lids, picking up the jars by only the lids, and then washing the outside of each jar, making sure that right by the rim is clean. The vacuum seal should be strong enough that the lid won't budge at all under slight pressure and that you can hold the jar by just the lid. After I'm sure all of my jars are sealed, they get labeled and put away. Follow along as we can one thing a week to build up my can tree.